I swear to God, my Spotify Wrapped this year is gonna say you spent 525,600 minutes complaining about the Bruins power play. For those of you who don't know, that is the amount of minutes that are in a year. For those of you who aren't fans of the musical Rent. You know, they don't, I've been saying this, but they don't ask how. But in terms of the standings, they don't ask how. They ask how many. And this is definitely one where you need to be asking how many instead of how. Anyway, Bruins fans, it is time to knock it out! Because that is a 2-1 victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Welcome back to Into the Den. I gotta be honest, this was absolutely a this was one that had me on the edge of my seat. This is one of the most exhilarating games the Bruins played all season. And wouldn't say it's one of the most fun, but it's one of the most intense. And we did it all without a certain AJ Greer. Speaking of which, let's talk about that right now. Thursday night after during the Bruins game against the Montreal Canadiens, AJ Greer cross-checked Mike Hoffman in the face, and it ended up resulting in Greer getting a game misconduct penalty, meaning he was thrown out of the game, and receiving a 1-game suspension. Now I was a little on the fence about this. Not the fact that this. I was not on the fence about the fact that this deserved a suspension. Look, I fucking hate Mike Hoffman. I think that he's one of the biggest scumbags in the entire NHL, and he absolutely still deserves every bit of criticism that he gets for the way he acted towards Erik Karlsson. There is absolutely no way in hell that you deserve to come out of a situation in which you are making fun of someone's stillborn son. There's no way that you come out of that situation looking like the good person. No. And yeah, I know. So Hoffman, I hate. But that play, I understand and why he was going to get suspended. Now, I was on the fence about this because even though it's a player getting suspended, I would have liked to see Lauko in the lineup a little bit more. And honestly, in this game, it was well deserved. Lauko absolutely deserved the time that he got. He played pretty well. In fact, honestly, this was the best. This was quite possibly the best game I have seen from the bottom, from the fourth line in months. And quite possibly the best game for the bottom six all season. Like you pull up the hockey stat card right here, and yeah, it says Jake DeBrusk is at the very bottom, and like I kind of understand Jake didn't really have that great of a game, but Tyler Bertuzzi is the second worst player on here, and not only does it look like he actually goes positive, I would wager to say that he had a really good game. But also on that, why did I take it down? Also on that is Jacob Lauko. You can see that top in that top four. The top player is a defenseman. The next three are all on the fourth line. Look at that. Hathaway, fourth liner. Noshik, fourth liner. Lauko, fourth liner. And I am willing to say that this is the best game that Tomáš Nosek has had all season. Absolutely. The best game that Tomáš Nosek has had all season. So, AJ Greer suspended a game. Am I too concerned? Not really. Am I too concerned about Greer getting suspended a game? Not really. Greer already led the league. Greer already led the team in penalty minutes. Was already leading the team in penalty minutes. I don't really see. So I feel like if there's anybody to get suspended this season from this team, it was probably going to be Greer. And am I happy about the performance of the guy they brought in to take his place? Absolutely. I'm happy with Waka's performance today. Anyway, puck drops. First of all, like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. But actually, before puck even drops, Garnet Hathaway and Pat Maroon are chirping and pushing each other like Hoffman and Greer did before the puck drop on the Thursday game. And right off the bat, less than 10 seconds into the game, we get a big fight, and it's not even the fight, and it doesn't even start the way that everybody was looking for. Everybody was looking at Hathaway and Maroon, but what actually started it was Jacob Lauko and Ross Colton. The two of them going at each other, headlocking each other, and then we get the big one of Hathaway versus Maroon, and it results in Maroon going to the box for roughing, with Corey Perry starting the penalty as well, with Corey Perry serving an additional penalty on behalf of Ross Colton, I think. But Bruins have the 12th best power play in the league versus the 16th best penalty kill in the league. So dead middle. We end up going 1 for 8 on the power play. And again, I know I've complained about this several times. It doesn't get, the complaints don't stop though. Just because I complain about it once doesn't mean that it's over. And it's not necessarily a case of okay, the squeaky wheel will get the grease. You know when it gets the grease? When this freaking power play actually gets back to speed. 1 for 8 on the power play. Are you joking? Like, again, second best power play in the league for the first 50 games of the season, and then you just completely shit the bed afterwards on the power play. That was pathetic. That was absolutely pathetic. And it's not like, you had half of the first period on the power play. The Bruins had a grand total of 8 minutes 49 seconds on the power play in the first period alone. And they come out of it with only 1 goal. Tanner Jeannot himself only gets 6 penalty minutes in the first period. First for interference and 2 more on the first 2 are on a interference penalty, and the second one is and the second and third come on a double minor for high sticking. Less than 10 minutes into the game, the Bruins have already had 4 chances on power play, and we only score on 1. Let's talk about that one and we score on. And Pat Maroon ends up going for unsportsmanlike conduct. I mean, it's Pat Maroon. I would kind of expect that to be the penalty that he goes for. Marchand with a fantastic pump fake. He dekes out pretty much the entire defense, and instead of shooting, he passes to the middle, intending it to be for Bergeron. It goes off of Bergeron's skate and then in Victor Hedman's skate, and it just chips up past Andrei Vasilevsky to put the Bruins up 1-0. And on that Tanner Jeannot high sticking afterwards, the Lightning get their lone goal of the game, a shorthanded goal. Wonderful. We're giving up shorthanded opportunities. Vic on a really bad clearing attempt. The Bruins pretty much just give it to Hedman for him to just walk in. He just has nobody in front of him. He just walks into the offensive zone and just slap shots it past Ullmark. And yes, if it's from that far away, you would want to save from Ullmark. But at the same time, can this power play not give up shorthanded opportunities? The Lightning had 21 penalty minutes this game. The Bruins had 17. And 2 goals were scored on the Lightning's penalty minutes. but only one of them was for the Bruins. 8 minor penalties and a 5-minute fighting penalty. So that basically amounts to 8 power play opportunities, and you do not score on any of them. And you only score on one of them. Again, you only score on one of them. That's awful. Pathetic. Again, I will spend as much time as I need to this season, for the rest of the season, complaining about this power play, because it sucks. It sucks. Anyway, second period starts. It's Bruins kill the rest of Hathaway's penalty because he goes for roughing at the end of the first period. Bruins do really, really well until the Lightning start pushing back. Nikita Kucherov tipping a Hedman in feed high and wide. If Kucherov angles his stick better, this is going in. There is no way that Omar is not in position to save this one. And the Bruins end up getting a few opportunities, but they just can't connect on them. And eventually Darren Radish, I forgot that you trade away one Radish to frickin' where is it, to I think it was Chicago that they traded in Taylor Radish to in that Brandon Hagel deal. For who is it? For you trade one, you get rid of one in Radish and bring in another. My God, it's a frickin' salad down in Tampa. Put that in a Cuban sandwich. I don't know what goes into a cabana. Anyway, Darren Radish tries to wrap around and he almost makes it. He almost makes it, but he just gets stuffed by Hampus Lindholm. Him pinning the puck against the side of the net, and a little bit, and like immediately after, Brandon Carlo ends up going for tripping, and 50 seconds later, Charlie McAvoy goes for high sticking on Nick Paul. So we have a minute 10 to kill of a 5-on-3 against a team that is giving us fits. That seems to be giving us fits, not like in the freaking they are killing us, but like this Tampa team is not letting up at all. A team that is giving us fits. We have to take a 5-on-3 into them of over a minute without 2 of our top penalty killers. When I tell you that I screamed for joy when we killed these penalties, I am not kidding. That was one of the moments that's like, we are going to win this game. Then a little bit later, Steven Stamkos ends up going for slashing, and 8 seconds later, Jake DeBrusk also goes for slashing, but it's more so just tapping the stick out of Eric Chernak's hands. And the refs in this game sucked. I mean, are you really gonna fault me if I don't mention in the fact that the refs suck, because at this point it's getting to be like every single game the refs suck. Doesn't matter. 152 of 4-on-4. Both penalties end up dying. But the fourth line get a really good shift in the offensive zone on pinning the puck against the end boards. It's Matt Grzelcyk firing from the blue line, and after Hathaway's stick is pretty much just chicken winged underneath Tanner Jeannot's arm. By the way, Tanner Jeannot had a really brutal game today. Not only he's taking 6 penalty minutes, but also he sucked. Tampa, you really spent a first, second, third, fourth, and fifth on this guy and Cal Foot. You traded a foot for not wearing jeans. I'll see myself out on that one. But anyway, Grzelcyk fires from the blue line, and Hathaway right up the middle. He rips his stick out of Jeannot's arm and bats the rebound out off of Andrei Vasilevsky, which was really the only way we were going to score a goal there. This game this game was pretty much all grit and sandpaper, and that and grease and gritty goals like that, where you're right up their nose and just immediately getting the rebound, putting the rebound somewhere else on net, is pretty much the only way you're gonna get goals, especially against a goalie like Vasilevsky. Now I know Tampa's had a really bad past few games. They losing their previous 3 before this game, including like a 7-2 loss against Ottawa. Tampa's been going through it, but this game was probably the best game in a little bit. But even still, this was pretty much the only way we were gonna beat Vasilevsky today, and I'm so happy we did. And after that, the Bruins pretty much control the rest of the game. They pretty much camp out the last minute of the second period in the offensive zone. Third period starts, and the third line is playing absolutely amazing. Bertuzzi, Coyle, and Frederick just flying all over the place. Is taking hits. It's making plays. Is absolutely just giving the Lightning fits today. And eventually, they play a little too. The offense plays a little bit too hard, too fast, and allows a 3-on-0. Except they don't. They don't. Because even though it looks like a 3-on-0, the entire, the Lightning have 3 men going forward on the, pretty much on the blue line, and the entire, the entirety of the Bruins team is behind the blue line, is in front of the blue line, further back from where Tampa's players are. Matt Grzelcyk, he reaches around and taps the puck back over the blue line, and forces Tampa offsides. Incredible play from Grzelcyk. Let's pull that up again. We're pulling the hockey stat card up again, and because look at the player right on top, Matt Grzelcyk, the best game of anyone today. I know a lot of people were asking why didn't we try and move Grzelcyk at the deadline. And a lot of people asking why is Grzelcyk still on the roster. This is why. Grzelcyk is fantastic. Grzelcyk, even if I didn't have this, I would be saying that Grzelcyk had one of the best games of anybody on the Bruins today. I would say that Nosek had the best game, but Grzelcyk was definitely top 3. Grzelcyk was definitely top 3 in this game. Anyway, in this third period, Pastrnak brings up the heat a little bit more. Pastrnak was not really having that great of a game before the third period. I will just say that Pastrnak was he wasn't really playing with the same amount of swagger. He was whiffing on shots. He wasn't taking the shots that were there, and he wasn't really making himself open. But he wanted 50 badly in this third period. He was going around the bend. He was firing on all cylinders in this third period, and it absolutely helped. And like I said, fourth line played out of their freaking minds. Out of their minds, this fourth line played. Hagel ends up going for interference on Jacob Blacko. This is a bad call. It was sort of just. I can't really say. I feel like it was more so incidental contact. Not really interference. And doesn't matter. It's Bruins on the power play. You know it's gonna die. And immediately after, and not only does it immediately die, almost immediately after, Brandon Hagel just comes out firing. It comes out like a rocket on the at the end of the penalty. He forces the puck again up to Ullmark. He's pushing for it, and the puck is rattling around between Ullmark's legs. Orlov, thank God, he takes the puck, he corrals it, and he just floats it up over everybody to clear it. Fantastic job by Dmitry Orlov. The Lightning end up pulling Andrei Vasilevsky. Neither team can really do anything with it. the Lightning get some really scary opportunities in the last minute, but they can't capitalize on it, and the Bruins don't score the empty netter. But they do clear it several times, and it helps this team climb to 6 in a row, 54 wins, drops Tampa to 4 losses in a row, and today at 7, the Leafs take on in Carolina, and if they lose in any fashion, Bruins clinch the top spot in the Atlantic Division. We've already clinched the playoffs. We pretty much have this entire. We pretty much have the entire league on lock. This it just helps to have that security. It helps to have that security. With 10 games left. Oh my God! It's only 10 games left. There are only 10 games left in the NHL season. I genuinely cannot believe that. I genuinely cannot believe that there are only 10 games left in this season. And I know, last year we had the COVID stoppage, and it kind of made some things fakakta. We didn't go to the Olympics, so that break was killed, and the regular season ended up going pretty far into April. And this time the playoffs start on freaking April 17th. Like 2 or 3 weeks before they started last season. But it's all good, baby. It's all good. Cause we're gonna win this. We are going to go places. And if we can win a game like that, where it absolutely felt like it was playoffs, like the way that game was played, from like the difficulty that it took to score goals, to how chippy everybody was, that game had playoffs written all over it. If we can win a game like that, who knows what we're capable of. Now, I will say real quickly, I will not be. Tomorrow's Into the Den is going to be coming up later. Is going to be up later than expected, because I'm going to a protest tomorrow, and also going to a punk show. Oh, that's going to be a little. It's going to be a little bit later. It's probably going to come around in the in the late evening. Think like I'm probably coming back here at like 11. So. Who knows? It might even be up around when. It might even be up around when Bruins games. Around when Bruins games would end for 10 o'clock games. So that's gonna be later, but black and gold till we're dead and cold, baby. And that is gonna end it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow or Monday, whenever that's uploaded. Take care. I mean, it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, but still a good game.